ACT1. A dimly lit room in an old-fashioned house in the heart of the city. Up center is the entrance to the room, a huge arched doorway. There's a rather modern-looking rear panel behind the entrance with a telephone and a modern painting on it. The rear panel can be slid to reveal a garden. Upstage left, a dance practice hall. Upstage right, a staircase going to the bedrooms. Downstage right, exits into the kitchen. All the furniture in the room at least 40 years old. Lotta and Viswas enter from the doorway. Viswas. So this is where I get killed. Lotta, they should have been here by now. Viswas. They are not in? You said it was all arranged. Wait a minute, they said 7 o'clock. Lotta, I know, but they had to go out. Emergency. Viswas. Only doctors and firemen go out on emergencies. Dancers stay at home till it's showtime. They also stay at home when they have invited their future son-in-law to their house. Lotta, don't be so sure. They have to meet you first. Viswas sits down. I'm sure they are anxious to get rid of you. We will probably discuss wedding details. You know, things like what they are going to give you, who feeds how many people. Then your mother will want to meet my mother and they'll show each other their Kanchipuram saris. Lotta, oh, Viswas, maybe I should throw you out before they come. Viswas. But where are they? Lotta, one of our musicians isn't well. He fell down the stairs and broke his arm. Viswas. Did he trip on his dhoti or something? Lotta, but they promised they'd be here by 7. Viswas. They might still be at the hospital. I can see them now. Excuse us, we must rush. We have a son-in-law to meet. Lotta, don't be under the impression that they are tripping over themselves to meet you. Viswas. Why, aren't they anxious to know who their lovely Lotta is marrying? Lotta, actually they couldn't care less who or what you are, as long as you let me dance. Viswas. And what if I whisk you away to Dubai and sell you to a sheikh? Lotta, well, at least I'll still be dancing in his harem. No, seriously, they are not worried. Viswas. What kind of parents are they? Lotta smiles. I told you, they are different. Viswas. Did you tell them about my father? Lotta, yes. Viswas. That he runs a mithai shop on Commercial Street? Lotta, yes. And also that he owns half the buildings on that road. Viswas. I hope they don't think they've caught a big one. Lotta, I hope you don't think you've caught a big one. Viswas. Why should I think that? Lotta, simple. I'm the sole heir to this property. It's worth quite a lot. Viswas looks around. This, quite old-fashioned, high ceiling and all. The wood is probably rotting. But at least it's huge. Lotta, right in the center of town. Do you know how much this land is worth? A Marwari builder offered my father 90 lakhs. Viswas whistles. He wants to build a shopping complex. Viswas. So is he selling it? Lotta, no. Looks at Viswas. He would never do that. My parents have spent all their lives here. My mother's house, I'm told, used to be just 5 buildings away. There's nobody there now. Even before they married, she used to practically live here. They practice dance together under the same guru. Come on, I'll show you where we practice. Viswas. You did tell me it was big, but I never expected this. Lotta leads Viswas to the dance hall and switches on the lights. Wow, I've never seen a house like this before. Lotta. Some of these instruments are the same ones my parents used. Almost 40 years old. Picks up a pair of dancing bells. Can you believe it? These are the same bells my father wore for his debut. Ooh, I get goosebumps every time I touch them. This room has something special in it. Can you feel it? VISWAS. What, the goosebumps? Lotta. Atmosphere. Vibrations. Shakes the bells. VISWAS. Yes, that too. Lotta. This floor has felt a million a Davis. Over and over again. Stamps on the floor. Feel that? VISWAS. Nods. I hear it too. Lotta. When I was a little girl, I used to stand near the door and watch Mummy and Daddy practice. It was magic for me. I knew then what I wanted to be. This was, when we are married you will let me come here to practice, won't you? VISWAS. Of course, Lotta. Lotta. Oh, thank you. Holds the bells to her eyes and replaces them on the floor. VISWAS. Don't thank me. I don't think our floor can withstand a million a Davis. Lotta. And we won't have children. VISWAS. And we won't have. What? Lotta. I mean, not right away. We can have them later, can't we? VISWAS. My father almost died when I told him I'm marrying outside the caste. Wait till he hears this. Lotta. There's plenty of time. We are still young. Comes back to the main room. This was follows. My parents had me when they were both 40. VISWAS. Maybe we can adopt one. Lotta. Don't be silly. VISWAS. We could practice on him, so we would know what to do when our own brat comes along. You know, like a dress rehearsal. Lotta. Do you want children? VISWAS. Yes. Lotta. Lots and lots of them? VISWAS. Yes. Lotta. Then go marry someone else. VISWAS. Oh, Lotta, Lotta. At least let's settle for 2. Lotta. Smiles. Okay. VISWAS. You mean it? Lotta. One child right away and another. Let's see. VISWAS. Cheer up, we might get twins. Love's labor saved. Lotta. You are a clown. I don't know what my parents will think of you. VISWAS. Looks at his watch. They have to meet me first. Lotta. Sit down. They sit in silence for a while. Maybe I should make some coffee for you. VISWAS. Why maybe? Lotta. I don't know. It's the done thing, isn't it? VISWAS. Well, if you feel you must, don't let me stop you. Lotta gets up and stops. On the other hand, I don't have to make it if you don't want it. VISWAS. But if it's the done thing, then you must. Lotta. Why? There's no one else here except you and me. So who cares whether it's done or not? Unless you have a desperate desire to drink coffee. Pause. Do you? VISWAS. Not really. Lotta. Good. That's settled then. Sits down. VISWAS. On the other hand, I prefer rattling cups to twiddling thumbs. Lotta. I'll make some. Gets up. VISWAS. If it isn't too much of a bother. Actually, I could do without it. Lotta. Do you or do you not want some coffee? VISWAS. Filtered? Lotta. Instant. VISWAS. You have tea? Lotta. We don't make tea in this house. VISWAS. Well, you better get used to making it. Me marrying a Southie my father will tolerate. but accepting a daughter-in-law who doesn't make tea is asking too much of him. Lata, I'm not a Southie, my father is Gujarati. Viswas. Do you have tea in the house? Lata, no. Viswas. Then you're a Southie. Lata, fine, I'll get some tea from the shop nearby and. Viswas. Not just now, I'll let you know when I feel like it, thank you. Lata, sighs. We're not even married yet and I find you exasperating. Viswas. Oh, my God. Lata, now what? Viswas. Your father is a Guju? Lata, so? Viswas. And he doesn't drink tea? Lata, mummy's influence, I suppose. Viswas. What a cruel thing to do to a Guju, not giving him tea. Your mother must be dominating the poor man. Lata, I guess daddy is a bit more pliable than usual. Like you. Viswas. You think I'm pliable? Lata, yes. Viswas. Sighs. I suppose I am. Lata, don't worry, I won't take advantage. Viswas. But your mother does. Lata, does what? Viswas. Dominate, bully your father. Lata, no, she does not. Viswas. That's a relief. That sort of thing runs in the family, you know. Lata, that's not true. My grandfather was the dominating type, but look at my father, he. Viswas. Your grandfather? I thought he was dead. Lata, with patience. He is now. He wasn't before. Viswas. You haven't told me much about him. Lata, he died when I was still a baby. But I know all about him. He was a social reformer. Used to hold secret meetings in this very room during the British Raj. Viswas. Oh, a freedom fighter. Lata, I suppose that was the big cause then. Viswas. And after we became free? Lata, he must have had his hands full handling daddy, what with him wanting to be a dancer. Viswas. They must have had some terrific fights. Lata, they must have, but daddy has always had a deep respect for him. That's why he will never sell this house. Do you know most of the furniture in this room is my grandfather's? My father refused to part with any of it. Viswas. That's it. Lata, huh? Viswas. So that's what it is. Lata, what? Viswas. This room reminded me of something. Now I know what. An antique shop. Lata, well, everything here is at least 40 or 50 years old. Viswas. Over here. Moves towards the doorway, but in the living room, everything is quite new. Lata, that wasn't there before. This was the living room. There was a huge lawn in front. My mother had the front extended. We allow very few people to come right in. Only musicians and dancers. The others we finish off with in the living room. Viswas. I'm not a musician or a dancer. Why didn't you finish off with me in the living room? Lata, you are part of the family. Viswas. Not yet. I still have to approve of our parents. Lata, what has happened to them? Sit down. I'll call Mutia, our flutist, and find out where they are. Makes to go to the living room. Viswas. Where are you going? Lata, to use the phone. Viswas points to an old-fashioned phone. What's wrong with this one? Lata, That's also part of the antique show. It's a dummy. Goes to the living room. Viswas. Looks around the room and shakes his head. I'm going to get in-laws who are ready for the nut house. While Lotta is on the phone, Viswas looks around the room. He is intrigued by a large ornate cupboard. Lotta, hello, Mutu uncle? Lotta here. Yes, I'm fine. No, they are not back. That's why I called to find out. Oh, that's too bad. Multiple fractures? How did it happen? What? He tripped on his doti? That's sad. Do you know when Mummy and Daddy? Yes. I promise I'll visit him. No, I don't want to speak to Kala. I didn't call for her. No, we haven't fought. Quietly, Uncle, could you please tell me what time did my parents leave the hospital? Good, thank you. I promise to call Kala. And I promise to go to the hospital. Yes, I'll take Kala with me. No, I won't forget to take some payasam for him. Excuse me, I think the milk is boiling. Bye. Puts the phone down and crosses downstage towards the kitchen. Musicians, sit down. They should be here any moment. Viswas. Where are you going? Lotta, I'm making coffee for all of us. Stops. I could make Bournvita for you, if you want. Notices Viswas observing the cupboard. Beautiful, isn't it? Solid rosewood. They don't make cupboards like these anymore. Viswas. What's inside? Lotta, oh, more books. Viswas opens the cupboard. Be careful, most of those books have turned yellow. The pages will crumble if you touch them. Viswas removes a splendid brocade shawl. Oh, wow, look at that. Lotta, isn't it splendid? Viswas. I'm going to ask for this as dowry. Lotta, no, he won't give it to you. Viswas. Why not? Lotta, same reason why he won't sell the house. It belonged to my grandfather. Viswas. Looks like I should be lucky if he parts with you. Lotta takes the shawl from Viswas. It was a present to Granddad from the Mysore Maharaja. He got this and an award from the Maharaja during Dussehra. Viswas. What for? Lotta, Mummy did tell me once, but I've forgotten. She said this was his most prized possession. Every time he had visitors, he would quickly wrap this around, no matter how hot it was. He was the first among the educated elite class to shun Western suits and wear kurtas and shawls like these on formal occasions. Putting the shawl back into the cupboard. Now sit down while I do my work. Viswas. Can I sit in the kitchen and watch you? Lotta, no, thanks, I'll get nervous. Viswas. When my mother comes here, she'll want to watch you make coffee. Be prepared. Lotta, as she exits. First my parents have to watch you make a monkey of yourself. Exits. Viswas, calling after her. She has eyes like a hawk, my mother. She'll even check to see how far up your legs are tanned so she'll know whether you wear mini skirts or not. Viswas wanders around. He looks at a bookshelf and removes a book halfway. He hesitates, and then puts it back and dusts his hands. He moves towards the old-fashioned phone, picks it up and puts the receiver to his ear. He is shocked to hear a phone ring. He quickly replaces the receiver. Lotta, off, calling out loudly. Viswas, get that, please. Viswas looks around, confused. What? Where? Realizes it is from the living room. Yes, I've got it. I'm getting it. Crosses to the living room, answers the phone. Hello? That's the number. Yes, this is the residence of Jairaj Parekh. No, he's not in. Me? Who am I? I'm nobody. Just the butler. Puts on an atrocious South Indian accent. I'm butler, sir. Sir and Amma going out. I taking message. Lada enters. Viswas. Who is that? Viswas. When they coming? They not telling. 1 minute. I asking Missy Amma. Comes to the hall. Someone for your father. Lada. Who is it? Viswas. He didn't say. Why don't you speak to him? Lada. I'm busy. Take his number and say father will call back as soon as he comes. Unless it's Mutia. Tell him they've just come and gone and won't be back till tomorrow. Lada exits to the kitchen. Viswas goes to the living room. Viswas, on the phone. Hello, Missy Amma saying they coming soon. Yourself be kind and give name and message. Yes, I writing down messages. What you're saying, sir? I know writing message. I'm graduate in English honors. Yes, you tell, good name? As if writing, Chagan Lal Chadani, Shagan Lal Chadani, is it not? See I told you, and message? You want to buy property offer of 90, still open. Reads, you want to buy property, offer of 90 still open. Is it not? See I told you, suddenly dropping the accent. Wait a minute, you're the one you want to build a shopping complex, right? Never mind who I am. I have a message for you from Mr. Jairaj Parekh. He still hasn't changed his mind. He's not interested. I also have a message for you from his son-in-law to be. Call back after 10 years. He may be interested in your offer. Goodbye. Hangs up and returns to the hall. Lada enters. Who was that? Viswas. No one. Some poor old chap seeking employment. He wanted to know if there was a vacancy for a butler. Lada. A butler? Are those still around? Exits. Viswas makes to sit but stops. He looks at the cupboard, goes towards it and opens it. He looks to see if Lada is around. Satisfied she isn't, he removes the shawl and wears it and struts around. Viswas. What a granddaddy she had. He must have been a terror. No wonder her father is a weirdo. Clears his throat and puts on a mock father voice. So, you want to be a dancer? Ha, 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 son, you will never amount to anything in life. Look at me, look at what I have achieved. Yes, look, points to the furniture. What's that you say? There's more to life than money? You ungrateful wretch. Unnoticed by him, Jairaj Parekh and Ratna Parekh enter. They stop and stare at his antics. They are both in their 60s, but very erect and energetic from years of rigorous training. Viswas continues dramatically. Where will you go being a dancer? Nowhere. What will you get being a dancer? Nothing. People will point at you on the streets and laugh and ask, who is he? He is a dancer. What does he do? He is a dancer. Yes, but what does he do? He is a Dan. Notices them. Sir. Grins stupidly and shrugs. Embarrassedly. I got bored waiting. Jairaj and Ratna don't respond. I love dancing. Not disco or anything like that. You know, our dances. There's so much more in them. You know what I mean? Shouts. Lada. Jairaj. Please put the shawl back. Viswas. Yes. Folds it clumsily. I'm sorry about it being a lovely shawl. Ratna. Give it to me. Stretches out her hand. Viswas gives the shawl to her. She folds it neatly and puts it back into the cupboard. Jairaj is staring at Viswas. Ratna sits down. Ratna, please sit. Viswas sits awkwardly, without looking at Jairaj. Sit down. Jairaj. moves to sit, then stops abruptly and shouts. Lada, sits. Embarrassing silence. Lada enters. I didn't hear you come in. I spoke to Mutu uncle and he said you'd already left. What took you so long? Silence. Anyway, I've made coffee for us and Bornvita for our guest. He hates instant coffee. Mummy, maybe you should make some filtered coffee for him sometime. Now uneasy. I'll be back in a minute. I'm sorry if I interrupted the friendly conversation. Exits. The others stare at one another. Ratna bursts out. This is terrible. What are we going to do? Jairaj. There's no use worrying. Ratna. This has never happened before. In all my life. Jairaj. In all our lives. Ratna. In all our lives, I can't remember ever being in such a crisis. Jairaj. It's not a crisis. Ratna. Crisis. Problem. Whatever. Jairaj. We've had problems before. Ratna. But never one like this. Oh God, what will we do? Jairaj. Comforting her. We'll think of something. First, shut up. Ratna stops. Viswas has been staring at them dumbfounded. Viswas. Look, I know I haven't made a very good first impression, but I would be more comfortable if you didn't think of me as a crisis or a problem. Ratna, what are you talking about? Viswas, at a loss for words, laughs nervously. Could I ask you the same question? Jairaj. We were not talking about you. We don't even know you. Viswas. My name is Viswasend. Jairaj. Irritated. We know that, but we don't know you well enough to think of you as a problem or anything. Understand? Viswas. That's a relief. Jairaj. What, that we don't know you? Viswas. No, that you don't think of me as a problem. Ratna. 10 days. That's all we have. Jairaj. We'll find someone else. Ratna. Who? Everyone's booked. Jairaj. We could ask Seshadri. He knows our repertoire. Ratna. Seshadri? Are you mad? He's rehearsing with Chandra. Kala. Jairaj. He'll only need a day's rehearsal. Ratna. He won't have the time. Jairaj. He won't be rehearsing with Chandra Kala all day for 10 days. Ratna. When he's not rehearsing with her, he is sleeping with her. Jairaj. You don't know that for sure. You mustn't listen to gossip. Ratna. It's not gossip. I have seen it with my own eyes. Jairaj. When? Ratna. When we were in Moscow, at the hotel. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I saw him sneak down the corridor and into her room. Jairaj. What were you doing in the hotel corridor at 3 in the morning? Ratna. Watching to see whose room you had sneaked into. Jairaj. I was downstairs drinking vodka with the Yakshagana troupe. Ratna. How do you know? Jairaj. How do I know what? Ratna. That was too quick an answer. How do you know which night I'm talking about? Jairaj. There was only one night in Moscow I stayed up late drinking vodka. Ratna. That was 10 years ago. How can you remember so clearly? Jairaj. If you can remember Seshadri sneaking down a hotel corridor 10 years ago, I can remember getting drunk with a gang of Yakshagana men with plucked eyebrows and bad makeup. Viswas clears his throat. I know this is none of my business, but aren't you straying away from the problem? From what I gather, the problem is that you need someone desperately within 10 days. Someone like this Seshadri, but not Seshadri because he is too busy doing whatever he is doing. Jairaj. You are intelligent. Viswas. Overjoyed. Thank you. Ratna. How does that help us? Jairaj. You're right, it doesn't. Viswas. Maybe if I know what it is you want. Lata enters with coffee and Bournvita. Sorry I took so long. The gas got over. I had to tilt the cylinder. To Viswas. I should have called you for help, but I thought it may not be a good idea. To Ratna. So, what do you think of him? Ratna. We aren't thinking of him. Lata. Serving. Oh, then it's me you were thinking of. Viswas. I hope you haven't told them you don't have any money. To Ratna. Don't believe him. His father owns half the buildings on Commercial Street. Viswas. We haven't been discussing my money. Lata. Oh, why not? Viswas. I seem to be in the middle of a problem. Lata. Something you haven't told me? Is it financial? Viswas. No, what I mean is your parents seem to have a problem and I'm in the middle of it. Jairaj. You are not. You don't even know what the problem is. Ratna. Lata, you should be the one to worry. Lata. What about? Ratna. About Srinivas breaking his arm. Who will play the Mridangam for your performance? Lata. Oh my God, it didn't strike me. Of course, he broke his arm. Ratna. Why did it have to be him? I wouldn't have minded if Mudia had broken his neck. Jairaj. To Viswas. CV Srinivas, our Mridangist. Ratna. A flutist or violinist we can do without, but this. Jairaj. To Viswas. He tripped on his dhoti. Lata. This is a crisis. Viswas. It's a special talent. Lata. Of course it is. Playing any instrument requires a special Viswas. I meant wearing a dhoti. You have to get the hang of it. I wore one once. You've got to kick it out of your way. Like a sari. Of course, I've never worn a sari, sigh. Lata. Viswas, do you mind? We are in the middle of a problem. Ratna. To Viswas. Srinu has been wearing a dhoti ever since he grew out of half pants. He must have been drunk. Viswas. You're right. Ratna. The fool. Lata. Viswas. Please drink your Bournvita. This is serious. Jairaj offers Ratna coffee. Ratna, waving her hand. I don't want it. Rubs her forehead. Jairaj. Worrying is not going to help. Think of all the people we know. Lata. Have you asked Seshadri uncle? Ratna. Certainly not. Lata. Good. I hate that pot-bellied lech. Ratna gets up. Jairaj. Where are you going? Ratna. To get an aspro for my headache. Jairaj. You are always taking aspro. Follows Ratna. Don't take too much aspro. Ratna. I tried Novalgin. It doesn't help. Jairaj. You're going to kill yourself. Stop taking those tablets. Ratna. I have to. I can't take this tension. Jairaj. What tension? There's plenty of time. You're worrying about nothing. Ratna. Excitedly. Nothing? Our daughter is giving a performance that will make her career and she is not going to have a Mridangam playing for her. How do you expect her to give her best? How do you expect her to dance? What will we announce to the President of India? There will be no dance tonight? Tell all those foreign diplomats to go home? In my life I've had problems. Jairaj. Now don't start. Ratna. Problems which you know about but conveniently forget. Jairaj. Ratna. No. Ratna. I did not go through all that to see our daughter's career finish overnight. Jairaj. It's not. Ratna. Finished. Just like me. Yes, your father was right. Dance has brought us nowhere. It's his curse on us. Nothing seems worth it anymore. Oh, it is all so worthless. You should have listened to your father. He was right. We were never anything great, never will be, and nor will our daughter be anything but an average human being. Jairaj. Lata is not average. Ratna. If she can't dance, what else can she be? Jairaj. There were times when we didn't dance. Ratna. And look where we are. Jairaj. We are fine, at least I am. Ratna. You are nothing but a spineless boy who couldn't leave his father's house for more than 48 hours. Jairaj. Ratna, don't. Ratna, you stopped being a man for me the day you came back to this house. Jairaj. For 40 years you've been holding that against. Ratna, you're right, I'm worrying about nothing, because nothing is what we are. Jairaj. Quietly. You are going mad. Lata goes towards Ratna. Mummy, whatever happens, I'm going to dance at the fest. For all those people and for you. Jairaj. Will finding a musician make me a man? Lata. Daddy. Ratna exits to the bedroom. Pause. Viswas. Maybe I should leave. Lata. Yes, maybe you should. Viswas. I'll come back some other time. Makes to go to the door. Lata. If you want to. Viswas. To Jairaj. Good night, sir. Jairaj. Wait, don't go yet. Lata. Daddy, we've embarrassed him enough. Jairaj. Please stay for a while. 2476. Pause. Viswas. All right. Jairaj. Sit down. Viswas sits. Drink your Bournvita. Viswas. I don't want it. I hate it. Jairaj. Take it away, Lata. Lata picks up the tray. You haven't had your coffee. Jairaj. I don't want it. I hate coffee. Lata looks at Jairaj. I always have. Lata exits. Jairaj looks at Viswas. I'm sorry, we are usually a little more hospitable to our guests than this. Please excuse us. Viswas. I understand. Jairaj. Do you? Viswas. Yes. Jairaj. What do you understand? Viswas. That you are worried about Lata's performance and so you couldn't really pay much attention to me. Jairaj. It's not just the performance. Viswas. Then what is it? Pause. Jairaj. Do you drink? Viswas. Well, no. Yes. Sometimes with friends, but never in front of elders. Jairaj goes to the cupboard. As he is opening it, Lata enters. He quickly closes the cupboard. Lata, to Viswas. I'm sorry, this just seems to be the wrong day. Jairaj. It's all right, I've finished apologizing to your friend. Lotta, good. Then he can leave and come back some other time and Jairaj. Lotta, go to your mother's room and sleep with her tonight. Lotta, she's in one of her moods. You know how she gets. Jairaj. Yes, I know. That's why I'm sleeping in your room tonight. Lotta, but she'll tell me the miseries of her life. I don't want to hear that all night. Jairaj. You'll only hear them. I've lived through them. Lotta, oh, mutters to herself. That's one thing I'll never do. Bore my children talking about the failures in my life. Exits to the bedroom. Jairaj goes to the cupboard and removes a bottle of whiskey and a glass. He pours. Viswas. Not too much for me. Just a little. Jairaj. Soda? Viswas. Well. Jairaj. Good. We don't have any. Drink it neat. Don't ask for ice. I'm not going to get it for you. Gives Viswas the glass. Viswas. What about you? Jairaj. Straight from the bottle. Cheers. They drink. I'm not supposed to be drinking. Viswas. Is that why you hide it in the cupboard? Jairaj. Shut up and drink. Viswas and Jairaj drink in silence. Viswas. You were going to tell me what's worrying you. Jairaj. Was I? Viswas. Yes, that's why you asked me to stay, I think. Jairaj. Oh, it's not worrying that's worrying me. Viswas. No, then what is it? Jairaj. To himself. Stopping, and looking back, and seeing that you haven't gone very far, and won't go much further. Viswas. Phew. Jairaj. Tell me about your life. Viswas. My life? There's nothing much to tell. It hasn't started yet. Jairaj. It hasn't started yet. You can wait till you are 60 for it to start and it won't. Drinks. So, your father is a paanwala. Viswas. Mataiwala. Jairaj. Makes a lot of money? Viswas. It's the family business. It's okay. My father has really made good money from his buildings. Jairaj. Black. Viswas. Jet black. Jairaj. Buildings, is it? Viswas. Yes. Jairaj. Strange. Viswas. What? Jairaj. That's how my father made his money. Viswas. Buildings? Jairaj. Houses. Bungalows. Bought them real cheap. When the British left, there was a real demand for these bungalows. He made a lot of money. One of the richest men in town. Amrit Lal Parekh, the Sethji of the city. Do you know what he did with all that? He spent it all in reconstructing India. Sounds very patriotic, doesn't it? All he did was give out a lot of personal loans to friends and relatives. Gullible, that's what he was, my father. Viswas. My father wouldn't loan money to me if I wanted it. Jairaj. Laughs loudly. Neither did my father. He gave to everyone. Except me. Viswas. Why? Jairaj. Drinks. The craft of a prostitute to show off her wares. What business did a man have learning such a craft? Of what use could it be to him? No use. So no man would want to learn such a craft. Hence anyone who learnt such a craft could not be a man. How could I argue against such logic? Viswas. But you fought back. That's good. You did what to do. You were steadfast. You wanted. Jairaj, sarcastically. Brave. Viswas. Yes, and brave too. Jairaj. Words. Brave words. That's all. Viswas. What happened? Jairaj. What happened? Nothing. Laughs. That was the trouble. Nothing happened. Laughs again. Didn't you hear my wife? Nothing is what we are. After 40 years, she tells me she doesn't think of me as a man. Just a spineless boy. And you know what I think? I think she is right. Viswas. Why? Jairaj. She knows why. Viswas. You must have hated your father. Jairaj. Maybe. Viswas. Lada told me you respected him a lot. Jairaj. Did she say that? Viswas. Yes. That's why you have kept this portion unaltered, almost like a shrine in memory of him. Jairaj. Rubbish. This was my world. I have kept it the same because it's mine. This is where I spent my childhood. I removed his memories. The gardens. He had plenty of spare time. He used to do a lot of gardening. A rose garden. Creepers climbing the walls. When he died, I had everything removed. Pulled it all out from the roots. When Ratna and I made some money from our dance school and performances abroad, we extended the front of the house. We had a lot of visitors, you see. We did make a name abroad and that made us local celebrities. Viswas. And the shawl? Why have you kept his shawl? No reply. It's a beautiful shawl. I asked Lada if you would give it to me as dowry. Just joking, you understand. I don't really want anything. She said you wouldn't part with it because it was your father's. Jairaj goes to the cupboard and removes the shawl. He gives it to Viswas. Jairaj. Let me see how you look wearing it. Viswas wraps it clumsily around himself. Viswas. It's fantastic. It will go very well with a sherwani. Jairaj. Do you like it? Viswas. Oh, yes. Jairaj. You can have it then. Viswas. Oh, I don't know how to thank you. It's very generous of you. I promise to take good care of it. I'll fold it neatly and put it in a bag and Jairaj takes the shawl, folds it and places it on the sofa. I didn't mean you can take it now. When you are married to Lada. Viswas. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Yes, of course. Takes his hand and shakes it vigorously. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Jairaj removes his hand from Viswas's clasp. It's only a shawl. Most boys would ask for a Maruti van. Viswas. No, I wasn't thanking you for the shawl. Thank you for agreeing to our marriage. You approve of me. Jairaj. I approve of you? Viswas. Yes. Jairaj. And you approve of us? Viswas. Yes. Jairaj. Good, then go home. And ask your father to call me sometime. Viswas. Yes, sir, certainly. Goes towards the living room doorway. One thing Lada was right about. You are different. Exits. Jairaj smiles slightly. He picks up Viswas's glass, finishes the drink and puts the glass back in the cupboard. He picks up the bottle, takes one last swig before closing it and putting it back. He looks at the shawl. He is about to pick it up. Ratna enters. Jairaj, has he gone? Jairaj. Yes. How are you feeling? Ratna, just awful. Jairaj. Where's Lata? Ratna, fast asleep on our bed. Wonder why she did that. Jairaj. Yes, wonder why. Ratna, don't pretend. You asked her to console me, didn't you? Jairaj. Are you consoled? Ratna, it doesn't matter. You'll have to sleep in her. Jairaj. I'll manage. Hiccups. Ratna, sniffing. You have been drinking, haven't you? Jairaj. A little. That boy wanted a drink very badly. I kept him company. Ratna, I don't believe you. You have been drinking quite a lot. I can tell by just looking at you. Jairaj. Maybe. Ratna, and where did you get the liquor from? Lata makes sure there is none in the house at any time. Jairaj. Now you are the one who is pretending. Ratna, what do you mean? Jairaj. You know I hide it in the cupboard. Ratna, if I had known, I would have taken it away. Jairaj. You did take it away. And you put it back, after diluting it with water. Ratna, you are drunk. Jairaj. Next time you want to drink, don't bother topping it with water. You have to drink more every time to get the same kick. Ratna, I don't need to get a kick like you. I have a little bit now and then to settle my nerves. Jairaj. Sit down. Ratna, why? Jairaj. Making Ratna sit. Sit down, Ratna Devi. Can I get you a drink? Goes to the cupboard. Ratna, please, Jay. I'm in no mood for jokes. Jairaj. Jay, you called me Jay? Takes out the bottle and opens it. You haven't called me Jay in God knows how many years. This calls for a celebration. Here, offers Ratna the bottle. Ratna, I always use the glass. Jairaj. Goes to the cupboard to get a glass. Good. We haven't expressed ourselves to each other so well for a long time. Maybe we should drink together more often. Pours. At least we will be more honest with each other. Ratna takes the drink. When have I been dishonest with you? Takes a large gulp. Jairaj. See what I mean about diluting it? Some more? Ratna shakes her head. Feeling better? She nods. Good. Then we can talk. Ratna, yes, I have decided we could ask Chandrakala to lend Seshadri as a favor. She may need our help someday, so she is bound to oblige. Jairaj. Good thinking. Ratna, it's settled then. I'll call her in the morning. Makes to go. Jairaj. Abruptly. Do you think we would have been happier if we hadn't come back? Ratna, confused. Are you talking about? Jairaj. Yes. Ratna, why bring it up now after 40? Jairaj. You brought it up. What did you say? I stopped being a man for you because we couldn't survive on our own. Ratna, I didn't say it like that. Jairaj. Your face tells me you did. Ratna, you mustn't take notice of what I say when I'm upset. Jairaj. That is the only time you make sense to me. Ratna, I'm going to bed. I suggest you do the same. Jairaj. What did you want me to do? Carry on staying at your uncle's. Ratna, don't. Jairaj. Stay with him after what he said. Ratna, will you please? Jairaj. Is that what you wanted me to do? Ratna, don't say it. Jairaj. Look the other way while your uncle. Ratna, please. Jairaj. While your uncle asked you to go to bed with him? Would I have been a man then? Giving my wife to her own uncle because he was offering us food and shelter? Would you have preferred that? Do you think your uncle made such interesting proposals to all his nieces? No, that would be a great sin. But you were different. You were meant for entertainment. Of what kind was a minor detail. So what was wrong with going back to my father? At least my father didn't make. Ratna, screaming, stop it. Jairaj. Quietly, I'm sorry. You mustn't take notice of what I say when I'm drunk. Ratna, please forgive me. I didn't mean anything I said when I was upset. Jairaj. You don't believe what you said was true? Ratna, no. Jairaj. Funny, I do. Ratna, you know how anxious I am about Lata's performance. If she does well, she will be a national figure. Then if we butter up the right ministers, we can even get foreign tours arranged. You know how hard we had to struggle. I just want to make sure Lata won't have to face the same difficulties. You should understand how I feel. Jairaj. Don't change the subject. Ratna, I'm only explaining. Jairaj. If that's how you felt about me, I must congratulate you for hiding it so well all these years. Don't feel bad about it. It was bound to spring up sometime. You're only human. Ratna, I'm human and so are you. So what if you couldn't support your family on your own? You were interested in higher things. Something better than just working for money alone. And since your father had this house and could support us, there was no reason why we couldn't. Jairaj. After leaving him, coming back and accepting defeat? Ratna, that was an impulsive decision to leave. We were both to blame. Jairaj. That is very kind of you. Not to blame me alone. Or maybe it's not kindness. Something deeper than that. Like guilt. You forgive me and I forgive you. Forgive what you did to Shankar. Ratna, don't mention that name to me. Jairaj. Oh, no, I won't. I forgive you. I will never mention Shankar again. Ratna, oh, weakly, you promised. Oh, I only wish. Jairaj. What, that we could start again? Ratna, oh, I don't know. It all seems so petty now. Jairaj. Not worth the sacrifices. Ratna looks at Jairaj. It was too great a price to pay, Jairaj. And yet you wish the same life for your daughter. Ratna, times have changed and things will be easier for her in some ways. Of course, she is talented and can become famous. Jairaj. Will that make all we've been through worth something? Ratna, yes. I wish Lata more fame than we have had. Why, she can be the best. We just have to push her a bit and, with our experience behind her, she can't fail. Yes, I'll do anything to see that she reaches the top. Even if it means being sweet to that bitch Chandrakala. Jairaj. Good, you sound normal again. Ratna, within 10 days, you'll see. Our Lada will be the talk of the town. I've taken care of the critics already. I've promised C.V. Suri I'll make him the chief guest at the Navratri festival. That old fogey loves to be garlanded on stage. And if he gives Lada a rave review, the others wouldn't dream of doing differently. Things would have been perfect if that Srinu hadn't. Anyway, we'll think about that tomorrow. I'm going to sleep now. Makes to exit. Jairaj puts back the bottle and glass into the cupboard. What do you think of Viswas? Ratna stops. Who? Jairaj. The boy Lada brought home tonight. Ratna. He's all right. A bit strange, but okay. Why? Jairaj. No particular reason. I've just agreed to them getting married, that's all. Ratna. He's well off, isn't he? Jairaj. From what he told me, yes. Ratna. And he will let her dance? Jairaj. Yes. Ratna. In that case, as she exits, just make sure the wedding is after the Navratri festival. Exits to bedroom. Jairaj yawns and is also about to exit to the bedroom when he notices the shawl. He goes and picks it up and makes to put it into the cupboard, but changes his mind. Jairaj to himself. Your last memory. Soon I'll be rid of you too. Then I won't see you wearing this shawl, walking about this room. Flute, followed by Mridangam. I won't see you wearing this shawl. I won't see you walking about this room. Paces up and down while the lights dim. I won't see you wearing this shawl walking about this room. Walking about wearing this shawl. Jairaj wears the shawl. He is immediately fixed in a spotlight. The music builds up until suddenly jadis or dance syllables being recited can be heard. The living room now changes into a lovely rose garden. Spotlight picks up a young man with his back to the audience, dancing. He wears dancing bells and a band around his waist. A young woman is sitting in front of him. The characters have all changed. Jairaj becomes the father, Amritlal Parekh. Viswas becomes Jairaj. Lada is now Ratna. Their ages remain the same as those of the previous characters they played. It is now the 1940s. Amritlal, shouting. J. No response. Jairaj. Full lights. Jairaj mimes motioning to the musicians to stop. The music stops. Jairaj, shouting. What? Amritlal. When I call for you, please show your face. Jairaj comes to what is now the main living room, the bells around his ankles ringing as he walks. What is it, father? I'm in the middle of an item. Amritlal. What, still in the middle? You've been at it the whole day. Jairaj. Not the whole day, we had a long lunch break. Amritlal. And how long will it last? Jairaj. I don't know. Ratna and I take turns. Guruji decides when to pack up. Could you tell me what you want? Father, Guruji doesn't like to be kept waiting. Amritlal. I want this din to stop. I want Guruji out, that's what I want. Jairaj. You'll just have put up with it for some more time. Ratna comes out of the dance hall. Are you coming? Guruji is waiting. He wants you to do the Jadiswaram with me again. Amritlal. Tell him he is occupied for the time being. Jairaj. I can't just ask them to leave. Ratna. Jairaj. In a minute, Ratna. Ratna. You know what he is like when he gets annoyed. Exits. Mimes talking to Guruji and musicians. Jairaj. Now what is it? Amritlal. I'm expecting some people and I want those musicians out before they arrive. JAIRAJ. They will leave when your guests come, I assure you. AMRITLAL. I want them out now. AMRITLAL. Doesn't he have any other students, your guru? JAIRAJ. He is the most sought-after guru in India. AMRITLAL. Then why is he spending his entire day in my house? JAIRAJ. I will not get into an argument with you on that. Now if you will excuse me, I have work to do. Makes to exit to the dance hall. Ratna enters from the dance hall to Jairaj. Since we've stopped, the musicians want coffee. As she exits to the kitchen, to Amritlal. Musicians. They look for any excuse to pretend to feel offended. I'll bring tea for you. AMRITLAL. Don't bother about me. Look after your guests. Ratna. The coffee won't take time. The decoction is ready. Exits to the kitchen. JAIRAJ. I can't even have a decent rehearsal in this house. AMRITLAL. You can't have a decent rehearsal in this house? One can't have some peace and quiet in my house. It's bad enough having had to convert the library into a practice hall for you. JAIRAJ. Why did you do it if you didn't want to? AMRITLAL. I thought it was just a fancy of yours. I would have made a cricket pitch for you on our lawn if you were interested in cricket. Well, most boys are interested in cricket. My son is interested in dance, I thought. I didn't realize this interest of yours would turn into an obsession. JAIRAJ. Didn't you have your obsessions? AMRITLAL. If you mean my involvement in fighting for your freedom. Yes, it was an obsession. JAIRAJ. You had yours. Now allow me to have mine. AMRITLAL. How can you even compare the two? JAIRAJ. As far as I can see, I can. AMRITLAL. As far as you can see. You can't see far, that is your trouble. Where is your dance going to lead you? JAIRAJ. If we hadn't gained independence, where would your revolutions have led you? AMRITLAL. I would like to see what kind of independence you gain with your antics. JAIRAJ. The independence to do what I want. AMRITLAL. I have always allowed you to do what you have wanted to do. But there comes a time when you have to do what is expected of you. Why must you dance? It doesn't give you any income. Is it because of your wife? Is she forcing you to dance? JAIRAJ. Nobody's forcing me. AMRITLAL. She may be by influencing you. Maybe it's her, not you. That's one thing I regret. Consenting to your marriage. JAIRAJ. Don't pretend. It suited your image that of a liberal-minded person to have a daughter-in-law from outside your community. AMRITLAL. And for that I repent. JAIRAJ. What do you mean? AMRITLAL. Where does she go every Monday? Pause. You know and you don't tell me. JAIRAJ. Where are your progressive ideas now? AMRITLAL. This is different. JAIRAJ. Where is the spirit of revolution? You didn't fight to gain independence, you fought for power in your hands. Why, you are just as conservative and prudish as the people who were ruling over us. AMRITLAL. You are mistaken. Gaining independence was part of our goal. And someone has to be in charge. It's what we do now that counts. As you know, Our priority is to eradicate certain unwanted and ugly practices which are a shame to our society. JAIRAJ. Like dowry and untouchability. AMRITLAL. That too. And you know perfectly well what I mean. JAIRAJ. You have no knowledge of the subject. You are ignorant. AMRITLAL. We are building ashrams for these unfortunate women, educating them, reforming them. JAIRAJ. Reform. Don't talk about reform. If you really wanted any kind of reform in our society, you would let them practice their art. AMRITLAL. Encourage open prostitution? JAIRAJ. Send them back to their temples. Give them awards for preserving their art. AMRITLAL. My son, you are the ignorant one. Most of them have given up their art, as you call it, and have taken to selling their bodies. JAIRAJ. I hold you responsible for that. AMRITLAL. You have gone mad. JAIRAJ. Give them their homes and give them their profession. AMRITLAL. I will not have our temples turned into brothels. JAIRAJ. And I will not have my art run down by a handful of stubborn, narrow-minded individuals with fancy, pretentious ideals. AMRITLAL. Nobody is running down your art. It is the people who perform it, and for what reason, that we are trying to. JAIRAJ. All right then, you should be pleased that people from respectable families like yours are interested in reviving this dance. You should be encouraging us instead of being a hindrance. AMRITLAL. I have no objection to your efforts in reviving the art, but I definitely do object to the people you are associating with. JAIRAJ. Who do you mean? AMRITLAL. Your guru. What kind of a family is he from? JAIRAJ. His mother was not a Devadasi, if that's what you wanted to know. AMRITLAL. Why does he wear his hair so long? JAIRAJ. Why do you ask? AMRITLAL. I have never seen a man with long hair. JAIRAJ. All sadhus have long hair. AMRITLAL. I don't mean them, I meant normal men. JAIRAJ. What are you trying to say? AMRITLAL. All I'm saying is that normal men don't keep their hair so long. JAIRAJ. Are you saying that he is not? Realizes the implication. Are you saying? AMRITLAL. I've also noticed the way he walks. JAIRAJ. Angrily. This is disgusting. You are insane. Ratna enters with a tray and cups. Coffee. Coffee for the artistes. Jay. Do you want yours here or will you have it with Guruji? I'll get your father's tea in a minute. No reply from Jayraj. Jay? Shall I keep your coffee here or do you want to sit with Guruji? No reply. Well, I'll keep it here and I'll have mine. JAIRAJ. Take it in, Ratna. I'll drink it with Guruji. Ratna. It's all right, you can have it here. Keep your father company, I'll manage. JAIRAJ. Roughly. Give me the tray, I'll serve them. Takes the tray from Ratna. You can make tea for your father-in-law. Moves to the dance area. Ratna stares after him uncomprehendingly, then to Amritlal. I'll make tea in a AMRITLAL. I don't want any tea. Ratna. Really, it's no trouble. AMRITLAL. Sit down. Quieter. Sit down, Ratna. Ratna sits. Jairaj mimes serving the musicians and talking to Guruji. Ratna, what happened? Amritlal. Ratna, what happened between you two? He looked upset. Amritlal. Nothing happened, we were just talking. I mentioned something about long hair and Ratna laughs. What's so funny? Ratna, oh, he told you? Amritlal. What? Ratna, that he is planning to grow his hair long? It would enhance his abhinaya. Amritlal. I see, and was that his idea, or maybe yours? Ratna, actually, it was Guruji's suggestion. Amritlal. Tell him that if he grows his hair even an inch longer, I will shave his head and throw him on the roads. Ratna, a little frightened. Yes, now if you don't want tea, I'll go back to the class. Amritlal. Where were you yesterday? Ratna, I really must get back. Amritlal. Where were you the whole of yesterday? Ratna, I told you where I was going. Amritlal. But where did you go instead? Ratna, I don't know what you mean. Amritlal. You had informed me that you were going to the Shiva temple. Ratna, yes, like I do every Monday. Amritlal. Every Monday, is it? Ratna, yes. Amritlal. Times haven't changed. When we were newly married, Jay's mother and I were not allowed to go anywhere on our own, especially not to see the moving pictures. But we were allowed to go to the temple. So whenever we wanted to see the moving pictures, we would tell everyone at home that we were going to the temple. Nobody stopped us. Ratna, if I wanted to see a film, I would tell you the truth. Amritlal. That is because you know I won't object to your seeing a film. Ratna, I would tell you anyway. Amritlal. What if it wasn't a film you wanted to see? What if it were someplace else where you know I wouldn't want you to go? Ratna, where would that be? Amritlal. You know very well where, because that's where you go every Monday. Ratna does not respond. It was fortunate for me that it was Patel who saw you going there. I can trust him to keep his mouth shut. He called me, out of concern for our family name. Ratna, I haven't done anything to spoil the family name. Amritlal. But people assume the worst. Ratna, well, you can start by reforming such people instead of. Amritlal. Don't preach to me, I know what I have to do. Ratna, I have always been taught to speak to my elders with respect, but since I haven't done anything wrong, there's no reason why I shouldn't speak up. Chenni Amma is the oldest living exponent of the Mysore school and is the only link we have with the old school. She doesn't have a single student who is dedicated enough to absorb her knowledge. She is 75 and dying. There's nobody who even visits her, not even her relatives or her children. Oh, she does get the occasional journalist or a curious foreigner knocking at her door. But they don't do much for her, except maybe give her a few annas out of pity. But she doesn't mind all this. She doesn't mind at all being poor and lonely. What she is really frustrated about is that in her youth she did not have the freedom to express her art. All her childhood years were spent in training which she could never use. All a waste for her. She spends her time now at the temple steps, selling flowers. When she came to know that I was a dancer, she greeted me and pleaded with me to learn the art of abhinaya from her. She even tempted me by offering to teach me some old dance compositions which she knew by memory. It was important for her that she should impart her knowledge to someone worthy of it. And it was important for me to learn what she had to offer. So, instead of going to the temple every Monday, I go to her house. Amritlal. And practice in her courtyard for all passers-by to see. Ratna. Only those who are curious enough to peep over her wall to see where the sound of dancing bells are coming from. Amritlal. Your bells. The sound of your bells. Ratna. Yes. Amritlal. The sound of your bells coming from the courtyard of a prostitute. Ratna. She is 75 years old. Amritlal. And people peer over her walls to see my daughter-in-law dancing in her courtyard. Ratna. Yes. Dancing the divine dance of Shiva and Parvati. Amritlal. And you feel what you are doing is right? Ratna. Yes. My husband knows where I go and I have his permission. Amritlal. Your husband happens to be my son, and you are both under my care. It is my permission that you should ask for. Ratna. You would not have given it to me. Amritlal. And I never will. Ratna. If you don't allow me to visit her, then I'll have to ask her to come here. Amritlal. Never. Not to this house, ever. Ratna. What objection do you have to a withered old lady coming to your house? It is my dancing in her courtyard that you mind. Amritlal. You will not. That is all. I need not give you any reason for it. Ratna. You can't stop me from learning an art. Amritlal. I don't want you seeing that woman again, that's final. And that is all I have to say. You may go. I'm sorry I've kept you from jingling your bells. My request is that you finish with your session as quickly as you can and see that your Guruji leaves before my visitors arrive. God forbid that they should bump into one another. Jairaj enters with the tray. They've finished their coffee. Why didn't you serve them sweets? One of them hinted he wanted to eat sweets. You know how they love to feel insulted. To Amritlal, I have to pay the musicians. Ratna. It's nice to know they are already feeling insulted. They can't feel any worse when we ask them to leave. Give me the tray. Jairaj. I'll take it to the kitchen. He wants you to do a padam now. Looks at Amritlal. The older they get, the crankier they become. To Ratna. And who said anything about them leaving? To Amritlal. 4 rupees. Exits to the kitchen. Amritlal. To Ratna. I'm leaving it to you. I'll give you 10 minutes before I personally request them to leave. Ratna. Don't worry. I'll think of an excuse. Amritlal. Good. And if you promise me not to visit that woman again, I won't feel it necessary to restrict your movements. Ratna looks at him and laughs suddenly. What's so funny? Ratna. I really feel sorry for you. Amritlal. That's a strange way of showing that you feel sorry for me. Laughing like that. Ratna. I really do feel sorry. Amritlal. Why? Ratna. Tomorrow, Jairaj starts learning another dance form, Kuchipudi. Amritlal. So? Ratna, triumphantly. In Kuchipudi, the men dress up as women. Laughs triumphantly and exits to dance hall. Ratna mimes speaking to her guru. Jairaj enters and makes his way to the dance hall. He stops. Jairaj. Can I have the money now? Amritlal. Yes, I'll give you the money now. Jairaj. 4 rupees. Amritlal. Yes, you can pay them 4 rupees and tell them never to set foot in this house again. Pause. Jairaj. You can't do that. Amritlal. I'm sorry, son. Jairaj. But you promised. Amritlal. Years ago. Jairaj. You promised you would allow me to continue with my hobbies. Amritlal. That was when you were a boy and dance was just a hobby. Grow up, Jairaj. Jairaj. I don't want to grow up. You can't stop me from doing what I want. Amritlal. As long as you are under my care. Ratna enters as if leading Guruji and the musicians to the door. She stands with folded hands near the door as they go out. Jairaj. Guruji, why? Watches them leave, then to Ratna. Why did they leave? Did my father? Ratna, it's all right, they didn't feel offended. I told them we were tired and he said it was time he left. He will come back tomorrow. Amritlal. He will not come here tomorrow. I will send him a personal letter of regret. Jairaj. To Amritlal. As long as we are under your care. Moves towards the bedroom. Ratna, where are you? Jairaj. As long as we are under his care. Exits. Ratna, I won't bother asking you what happened. Amritlal goes to the old-fashioned phone and dials. Amritlal, on the phone. Hello, Patel? Yes, I want a favor from you. The woman you saw my daughter-in-law with. Yes, that one. Could you send a doctor to see her? I believe she isn't well. Yes, and Patel? Please give her a donation of 500 rupees on my behalf. I will send you a hundi. Please. I shall be very grateful to you. Thank you. Puts the phone down. Ratna, that was very generous of you. Amritlal. That was in compensation for depriving her of her only student. Jairaj enters with a bundle of clothes tied in a sari. Jairaj. To Ratna. Come on, I've packed some of your clothes. We're leaving. Ratna, where? Jairaj. We'll decide that later. Gives Ratna the bundle. First, let's get out of here. Ratna, but Jay, you haven't taken everything. Jairaj. Never mind. Takes Ratna by the arm and leads her to the door. Ratna, at least we could take all our belongings. We could leave tomorrow. Jairaj. We don't need anything fancy. Turns around and speaks defiantly. As from now we are no longer under your care. And will never be again. Never. Exits, followed by a bewildered Ratna. Ratna, as she exits. Jairaj. As soon as Ratna exits, the garden becomes the present-day living room. Amritlal becomes the older Jairaj as he removes the shawl. The older Ratna's voice from the bedroom picks up from where the younger ones trailed off. Ratna, off. Jairaj, enters. Jairaj, oh, you are still here? I didn't see you in Lata's room. I was wondering where you were. You haven't been drinking too much, I hope. Come to bed. I've asked Lata to go back to her room. She tosses and turns too much. It disturbs my sleep, and you can't share a blanket with her. She grabs it all for herself in her sleep. I pity that Viswas. Yawns. Come on. Jairaj slowly exits, followed by Ratna. Ratna's voice gradually trails off. You know, I don't think it is such a good idea asking Chandrakala to lend Seshadri. They might plot to sabotage Lata's dance. He might give her the wrong tala. People can't make out whose mistake it is and they always blame the dancer. It happened once before when Nalini had taken Saraswati's cousin for her show. Lights fade out.